Have you been gaining weight even though you're doing everything you've been told? Have you spent years dieting, cutting calories, skipping meals, only to feel frustrated, tired, and stuck? Do you avoid cookies or birthday cake like they're dangerous because it feels like just looking at them makes you gain 15 pounds? If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you are not lazy and you are not broken. Hi, I'm Dr. Esra Shermadou. I'm board-certified family medicine and obesity medicine physician. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 10 weight loss mistakes I see in my patients every day, so you can finally break free of the cycle and move towards long-term sustainable weight loss. Here's the truth. Weight loss is complex. If it were as simple as calories in, calories out, we wouldn't have an obesity epidemic. The science is still evolving, and we're learning new things every year about metabolism, hormones, gut health, and the brain-body connection. And here's something most people don't talk about. Weight loss and weight maintenance are completely two separate things. That's one reason why so many people who lose weight, like the contestants on The Biggest Loser, end up gaining it back. Maintenance isn't automatic. It's an entirely different phase that requires its own strategy and support. But don't worry, we'll dive deeper into that in another video. All right, so mistake number one. One of the biggest mistakes I see is undereating, especially among women who've been trying to lose weight for years. Chronic low-calorie diets, though, put your body into survival mode. Think of it like a famine. Your body doesn't know when its next meal is going to come, so it slows everything down and holds on to every crumb that you eat. This not only makes weight loss harder, it also puts you at risk for sarcopenia or muscle loss and even osteoporosis, especially if you're not getting enough protein, calcium, and essential nutrients. Your body doesn't just need fewer calories, it needs enough nutrient-dense whole foods to feel safe, nourished, and supported. The goal isn't starvation. It's a modest, consistent deficit that allows for fat loss without signaling danger to your body. Mistake number two, too much cardio, not enough strength training. And I get it, cardio feels like the easiest way to burn calories. It's simple, familiar, and for many people, less intimidating than walking into a gym full of machines and people who look like they've been lifting weights their whole life. But when it comes to long-term fat loss and metabolic health, muscle is everything. Strength training helps you build lean muscle, which then increases your resting metabolism. It boosts your post-exercise energy expenditure, so your body keeps burning calories even after your workout ends. It strengthens your bones and joints and prevents injuries and fractures as you age. On the other hand, doing too much cardio, especially without recovery, can lead to overuse injuries that take you out of the game entirely. So instead of doubling down on cardio, start building muscle. It will support your metabolism, protect your body, and help you feel stronger in your everyday life. Mistake number three, not considering the role of hormones in weight loss. Hormones play a huge role in how our body metabolizes, stores, and uses energy. Conditions like menopause, PCOS, hypothyroidism, and other endocrine disorders can significantly change the way that your body responds to food and exercise. This does not mean that weight loss is impossible. It just means that you may need to strategize differently with your nutrition, your exercise, and your expectations. Not all hormone testing is helpful, but evaluating thyroid function, insulin resistance, and reproductive hormones when appropriate, that's where the real insight is. When you stop guessing and start testing, you can stop spinning your wheels. Mistake number four, assuming that weight loss is just about willpower. One of the biggest misunderstandings about weight loss is the idea that it's simply about discipline or willpower. But we know now that weight regulation is largely physiological, not just behavioral. Your brain, specifically the hypothalamus, is in constant communication with your gut, your pancreas, your fat cells, and the nutrients that you eat. When these hormone signals are balanced, your body naturally regulates hunger, fullness, energy use, and body weight. But when the system becomes dysregulated, those signals get distorted. You might feel hungrier than usual, less satisfied after eating, or more prone to store fat rather than burn it. And here's something most people don't realize. Fat isn't just stored energy. It's a metabolically active organ. It actually releases over 600 chemical messengers called adipokines that influence everything from appetite and insulin sensitivity to inflammation and hormone balance. One of the most important of these is leptin, which normally helps regulate fullness and fat storage. But in people with excess weight or insulin resistance, the brain can actually become resistant to leptin signal, causing even more hunger and more fat gain. This creates a vicious cycle that can't be solved by just trying harder. So if you've ever felt like your hunger or cravings are overpowering, it's not a character flaw. It's a biological signal that something deeper is going on. Mistake number 5, following fads or trends without personalization. Weight loss isn't a one-size-fits-all. One of the most common mistakes I see is jumping from trend to trend, cutting carbs, doing intermittent fasting, trying keto, juice cleanses, low fat this, low fat that. The truth is your body is unique, and what works for someone else might not work for you and could even set you back. Without understanding your personal metabolic profile, your hormone health, your lifestyle, and your medical history, it's impossible to know which approach will actually help you versus hurt you. So instead of following the latest online trend, work on building a foundation that fits your needs. Whole, nutritious, dense foods, adequate protein, movement you can sustain, and rest. If your approach isn't personal, it's probably not sustainable. Mistake number 6, not prioritizing sleep and stress recovery. Sleep is not optional when it comes to sustainable weight loss. Poor sleep can increase your cortisol, which is a stress hormone that promotes fat storage, especially around the midsection. But it's not just about hormones. Sleep is when your body does its recovery work, from muscle repair to immune function to injury prevention. If you're not sleeping well, you're more likely to get sick, injured, burned out, or stuck in a cycle of fatigue that leads to cravings and skipped workouts. Making sleep a non-negotiable part of your routine is one of the most powerful things you can do, not just for fat loss, but for long-term health and resilience. Right, mistake number 7, not eating enough protein. Protein is one of the most powerful tools for fat loss and body composition. It's the most thermogenic of all the macronutrients, meaning it takes more energy for your body to digest and process, helping you burn more calories even at rest. Protein is also highly satiating, which means that it helps you feel fuller longer, making it easier to reduce overall intake without feeling deprived. To stimulate muscle protein synthesis, most adults need around 30 grams of protein per meal. That said, this needs to be personalized based on your age, your sex, activity level, and medical history and other things. Prioritizing high quality protein at each meal supports muscle maintenance, metabolism, and satiety, which are all critical for sustainable weight loss. All right, mistake number 8, relying on motivation instead of systems and trying to do this without support. A lot of people think weight loss comes down to motivation. And yes, motivation can help you get started, but it won't carry you through. Motivation is temporary. It fluctuates your mood, your energy, your stress, hormones, and even the weather. The real key to sustainable weight loss: planning or systems. Systems for grocery shopping and meal prep. Systems for movement and recovery. Systems that make healthy choices easier to repeat. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And here's the other part. You're not meant to do this alone. Weight challenges are almost never just about food or exercise. They're usually rooted in deeper, complex patterns like stress, hormone shifts, emotional eating, or past dieting trauma. When you have a clinician who actually listens, looks deeper, and helps you build personalized systems, everything changes. And here's something to keep in mind. Even top performing athletes and high-level executives work with coaches. Support is not a weakness, it's a strategy. So instead of waiting for the perfect Monday or the next big burst of motivation, start building the systems and the support that you need for long-term success. Mistake number 9, obsessing over the scale. The scale is one data point, but it doesn't tell the full story. I see so many patients get discouraged because they're not seeing the number move even when they're making real progress. But weight loss and fat loss are not the same. If you're gaining muscle, reducing inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity, or healing your metabolism, your body may be changing in powerful ways that don't immediately show up on the scale. We also know that hormones, hydration, stress, and sleep can all cause weight fluctuations of several pounds in a single day. So instead of obsessing over the number, look at the bigger picture. How are your clothes fitting? How's your energy? How's your sleep, your focus, your mood? What do your labs show? The scale can be a helpful tool, but don't give it the power to define your success. Mistake number 10, ignoring genetics and epigenetics. One of the most overlooked factors in weight gain and weight loss is genetics, and more recently, epigenetics. We now know that up to 70% of body weight regulation is genetically influenced. This means that your baseline weight tendencies, your appetite signals, metabolism, and even how your body responds to food are shaped to some degree by your DNA. But it doesn't stop there. Epigenetics refers to how your environment, stress, nutrition, and even in utero experiences can influence how your genes are expressed. In other words, genetics may set the stage, but it's your environment that determines how the play unfolds. This doesn't mean that your weight is out of your control. It means the playing field isn't the same for everyone, and that's okay. For some, maintaining a healthy weight may require a different set of tools, more support, or more precise interventions like medications, hormone therapy, or targeted nutrition strategies. Blaming yourself for something rooted in your biology isn't just unhelpful, it's inaccurate. When we understand the role of genetics and epigenetics, we can stop fighting our bodies and start working with them. That's where real lasting change begins. All right, that's it for now. I know we covered a lot, but I hope you found this video helpful and that it keeps you from making some of these mistakes. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with a friend or family member who needs to hear this. Remember, losing weight can be challenging physically, physiologically, mentally, and emotionally. You don't have to do this alone. Reach out to family, friends, coaches, or trainers. And if you're in Ohio, reach out to me at sakinahealth.com, and together we will make this the last time losing weight is on your New Year's resolution. Bye for now, and I'll see you guys next week.